What's up, geeks? Oh man, I'm out of practice with this. Probably because this is the first time I've attempted to record some sort of a first impressions video literally since 2014, I'm pretty sure. So it's been a 5-year break from me trying to record any sort of first impressions commentary video. But then again, this is the first new Sonic the Hedgehog game that's come out in 2 years, since 2017. Since 2017's wonderful Sonic Forces that we all remember and love so much. And speaking of Crush 40, there they go right now with this song has been known about for quite a while. It reminds me a lot of Live and Learn. It kind of follows the exact same structure, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I like it. So when this game was revealed, a whole lot of Sonic racing games have, like, these stylized R's in the title, probably as a reference to Sonic R. Oh, we saw it right there. The thing is, like, this game was revealed by just showing, like, the logo in silhouette with the R lit up. And in this case, the R is exactly like the Sonic R logo. They're almost exactly the same. So, of course, I was immediately, like, hopeful that we were actually just getting a brand new Sonic R game. But unfortunately, I think that Sonic R is just obscure and old enough that inexplicably you could make a teaser like that, and sadly, you would not raise people's expectations to quite those levels. Most of what I've seen about this game so far, and by the way, this is going to be a true first impressions video. This is launch day. This is literally my first time ever playing this. Most of what I've seen about it so far has honestly made me less interested in it over time. The one exception to that probably being the Team Sonic Racing animation that was put together by the same people who were doing Sonic Mania Adventures. Those are fantastic. But as far as the game itself goes, everything I've seen about it kind of just makes it look like a downgrade from 2012's excellent Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing Transformed. Though, admittedly, Transformed is a very, very high bar to cross. You probably just heard the intro. I think I'm actually going to start here. And then we can go back and actually see my gameplay, because the important thing is to get out right up front what my actual first impressions of this game are. As of right now, I've been playing it for just over an hour, finished those 3 Grand Prix, so let's talk about this. All in all, I have to say that this is definitely the best Sonic the Hedgehog game to be released since Sonic Mania. That's my opinion, might be controversial, but I'm sticking to it. Okay, but really, I guess what I can say is that I'm pleasantly surprised, but not overwhelmed, if that makes sense. I think it was definitely a very good thing. At one time, like, I think the first time this game was ever shown as playable was like at E3 2018, like almost a year ago. And then it was supposed to come out like in time for Christmas 2018, and it was delayed all the way until like late May here. And I think that was definitely the right move. Like from what I saw of it back then, like that probably contributed. Seeing like that very early media of it probably contributed to why I had somewhat lowered expectations for it. As I said it like at the very start of this video, like, I guess now we're at the very start. Oh man, I don't know how to do this. Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed is almost on an untouchable level to me. And I never expected this to touch that, but I didn't expect it to feel quite as good as it does either. Aesthetically, in terms of its soundtrack, in terms of its visuals, it's absolutely spectacular. In terms of its gameplay, it still ends up feeling like quite a significant downgrade to me over Transformed. Not so much in terms of the way, not at all really, in the terms of the way that the cars or the vehicles handle. Okay, 2 things. One, the complete lack of other Sega properties is always going to be a bummer to me. Like, yeah, Sonic is my favorite game franchise, but what made the earlier Sega All-Stars games so, like, unusual and so much fun was just the presence of all these other Sega franchises, which normally just do not get any like spotlight to them whatsoever. The other thing is, of course, the downgrade in terms of all you have here are carts. Something that was so much fun about Transformed was not just the way that you had planes and cars and aquatic, what are those? Hovercrafts. Hovercraft versus car versus plane, cart versus cart. It wasn't just the fact that you had 3 different vehicles to drive on, it was also the fact that you had, like, the tracks themselves would change, many of them, as you went through each race. The tracks here don't seem to do that at all. So I guess what I would say is that this game is still a disappointment in comparison to its predecessor. Now, the counter to that is, of course, that its predecessor came out, like, 7 years ago. Like, during a completely different generation of hardware, so despite the fact that they're both made by Sumo Digital, despite the fact that they're both, like, Sega racing games, is it really fair to compare them like that? And more importantly, is this an enjoyable game on its own merits? And I think it is. It's still, like, it still handles very well, it still feels very good to play. And most importantly, probably, is the fact that the team racing dynamic seems to be, at least so far, so much better thought out and so much more robust and so much more, I guess, critical than I thought it would be. My big worry with this game was that it was just going to end up being like a Sonic kart race, like basically sort of like trying to pull off what Mario Kart 8 did, but giving it a Sonic skin, which would have been okay. I guess if you're a Sonic fan like I am, it would have been fine, but it wouldn't. But like, no matter what they did, it wasn't going to be like it wasn't. You're not gonna out Mario Kart, I guess is what I'm saying. So I'm very, very pleased that like this game still ekes out its own identity in terms of its gameplay. So to elucidate on that, let's cut the editing. Let's go to my actual first ever time playing this game. 1 hour and 16 minutes ago, and we'll see where these first impressions came from. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get critiquing, I guess. No, I do that later. First, I have to play the game. The first thing that you should do when you get a new game is, of course, go to the options menu. Alright, so options menu has your usual stuff. It looks like it's pretty well set to what'll be fine for this. Only 1080p though, but alas, it's what I have to limit myself to record. Not even gonna look at the controls. I can figure it out as I go along. I'm a veteran gamer. And I guess I'll just start by playing a single race. I don't really want to get into the story mode too much just yet. Yeah, let's just do a Grand Prix. We'll just do the first Grand Prix. Do I want to do team or standard? Well, the whole point of this game is team, so let's do that. So it looks like there's 5 Grand Prix with 4 courses each. Neat, neat. Plenty of content. And, so it looks to me like this game, like, in terms of its story and its presentation, and especially its character roster, is really trying to capitalize on sort of nostalgia for the adventure games. Or at least that whole, you know, early to mid-2000s era. I mean, holy crap, Silver is a playable character! I just noticed that. Like, I'd seen that before, but this is the first time I'm really kind of thinking about it. The one that people seem to have a lot of trouble with is Zavok. But, you know, people didn't really like Lost World that much. I think he's fine. You need another heavy character. Zavok does the job, I guess. But there's really only one character in this game for me. The only one that matters. So I think I'm going to have trouble getting my head around the team mechanics for this first race. I understand how a Grand Prix works, though. I do get that. Ooh, that looks like Sonic CD art. Pulling his gloves on. Nice little Easter egg. My team is Dr. Eggman, Knuckles, and Geek Critique. Okay. That's pretty much the perfect team. I didn't know until just now that you could even have a team... Like, I thought the teams might work like they did in, oh god forbid, Sonic Heroes. But they don't seem to. It seems like you can just make any 3 characters into a team. Which is better. I don't know why exactly I thought that. I guess I just figured maybe the dialogue might be recorded that way or something. First impressions immediately right off the bat, drifting still feels very, very good. Feels very much like it didn't Transformed, which makes a lot of sense. Sumo Digital, oh god. Sumo Digital did both games, and like drifting was a huge part of the earlier Sonic racing games, and that still feels just like I remember it. Very, very nice. Rings! That's that's not something I expected. But rings I could get into. Knuckles has offered an item box. He gave it to me. Yeah, this is actually a little bit more like Transformed than I was expecting. Like, I knew it, like, the boost was pretty much like, it didn't tell me to do that, of course, but, like, I was just like, okay, I know how this works. So that's a good sign, anyway. So I gotta remember, like, for one thing, I don't know what any of the item boxes actually do right now. For another thing, I'm pretty sure that I was just now trying to target Eggman, even though he's supposed to be on my team. So, when somebody offers an item box, can you accept it more quickly or something? The drift system and the trick system all seem very similar. Oh shit. I don't really know what happened there. Alright, so I'm pretty much already the best player in the world at this game. I think I've mastered it, figured it out. Took me a little time. It was a little rough going in the beginning, but I think I get it now. Ready to go pro. Well, this is complicated as hell. So this is the much vaunted over team system where even if you do... Oh, man. Just wrapping my brain around this. Like, even though I came in first, like, the idea is if my teammates had come in lower positions, they didn't, but if they'd done, like, as bad as, like, Chao, Shadow, and Blaze down there, like, I would still be way behind. So, there's a lot of incentive in, like, helping your team and making sure they do well. Unfortunately, I don't know how to do any of that right now. You know, I knew that even if this was, like, a really awful video game and I didn't like it, like, playing it at all, and I do, it's not that. But even if that had been the case, it would have been worth it for the soundtrack alone. And that's certainly panning out so far. So it looks to me like if... Oh, man, I cannot get the hang of going through these things just yet. It looks like if one of your teammates is ahead of you, then sometimes you can get in their trail and move faster. Like, I guess that helps ensure that teammates are going to, like, stick close together. But it doesn't seem to always be there. I wonder how that works. So I just tried to hit Knuckles, but it didn't work. Because he's my teammate. Okay, so that race kind of, because I spent a good portion of it behind Eggman, that sort of allowed me to see more of how kind of the teamwork mechanics work. So I'm getting the impression that, like, if you look at this result screen here, you see, like, all the teams are pretty close together. In fact, if not for Tails and Knuckles being swapped, they would all be in order. So I'm getting the impression, and I mean, of course, this is just the AI playing. Maybe it's different if you're playing online with other real human players, but it seems like the teamwork mechanics, like, are robust enough to make it likely that you're gonna be able to stick pretty close to your team. At least if you're all of, like, you know, at least similar skill levels. So that's good. That helps make this less of a possible detriment. Oh, this is gonna be... Oh, this is Casino Park. From off of Sonic Heroes. It's very visually appealing. Hopefully it doesn't last for 10 minutes and require me to play a broken pinball game this time. Not off to a great start, though. I wonder what causes Team Ultimates to happen. Oh, I feel like I have so much to learn. Like, I'm in first place and we got one. In the earlier games, like, your like, big special moves were kind of like, I am enjoying Eggman's dialogue. I'm actually glad he's my partner now. In the earlier games, the special moves were kind of like a, I guess, less robust, less broken version of Mario Kart's Blue Shell, in that they would help you if you... Okay, I guess Bullet Bill from Mario Kart's a better comparison, and oh man, I just got overtaken pretty bad. In that they would help you if you were too far back, but I just got that Team Ultimate while I was in first place.
Back to business, thanks.
Is this one called Burst? That's appropriate. The series used to be called First Burst. Oh god, why? Is this part of the stage? Is this a weapon?
Who needs a little something?
You know, because I'm so familiar with all of the mechanics of, like, exactly how Mario Kart works, this is actually very novel and a lot of fun, just, like, not having any idea how the mechanics of a racing game work. Which is also a really good sign for this, because the thing that, like, I was worried it would be was just like, oh, let's try to rip off, not rip off is the wrong word, this is clearly its own thing, and always looked like it, but, like, let's just mirror the accessibility and simplicity of Mario Kart and call it a day. And there's nothing wrong with Mario Kart being Mario Kart, but, you know, this game was never going to out Mario Kart. So I'm glad that they took it in such a different direction. Okay, my teammates did not do so well that time. Considering I still have no idea how to help them. So there seems to be a system where you can pass item boxes that you don't need to your teammates, but I have yet to figure out how to do that. And by the way, I know I keep saying I don't know how to do this thing. I'll figure it out. You like... I hope that nobody in the comments feels the need to tell me how to play the game. I'm sure by now I've got it figured out. This is just my first time playing it. Fuck. It's weird how I seem to be getting less good at the at the boosting mechanics over time.
Move over, hedgehog on a mission.
Okay, this stage is really cool. Just the fact that King Boom Boo is there. And this track was originally released, I believe, for Halloween last year. And it's a remix of Sandopolis from Sonic & Knuckles. So, while the aesthetic and the fact that they got Crush 40 to do the theme points to it kind of like capitalizing largely on adventure nostalgia, this game seems to be pulling from like every era of the franchise. Which is another reason I don't mind Zavik being here.
Step aside, I got places to be. Who needs a little something?
Okay, that bomb didn't seem to do anything whatsoever. Oh, maybe it was because it was thrown by one of my teammates. I don't know. Is there a way to tell? Again, these are rhetorical questions. Yeah, really loving the aesthetic of this stage. If Bomb looked like Bomb, I know that these are all WISP based. Oh boy. Okay. If Bomb looked like Bomb from off of Knuckles Chaotix, that would have been better. Get in there, Sega. Or modders. Modders should do that. Have I reached that point now? Have I reached the point where I can make a suggestion and enough people are watching that they'll just make a mod of that? Probably not. This is going on the alt channel, so almost definitely not. Oh, we got our set the cars on fire thing.
I'm unstoppable with ultimate power.
Still got to figure out how item box transfers work. Okay. So Knuckles, the AI character, I assume just asked for help. I'm guessing that happens automatically, but I wonder. Also, is this track changing over time? Because that would make me really happy. one of my favorite things about Transformed was the way that, like, different laps of certain tracks would change completely. And I don't think this one's changing completely, but I do think it's getting different hazards as it goes along.
Nice view up here.
So, how do I...
Hey, I owe ya.
Oh, you have offered an... Oh, God. Okay, I do think the musical notes probably... They've shown up in 2 tracks now. Those are hazards.
Can't beat our team.
Okay, so... Aha! It's the B button. That's how you give some... Gives an item box to somebody. Didn't we already get one of these earlier in this race? Can you get multiple team ultimates? I guess so.
I like this. Happy reset. First place. Best of the best.
I got an achievement called There Is No I in Team. Oh, because we came in 1, 2, and 3. Neat. I guess that's what that means. Alright, so after one Grand Prix, that seemed... That seemed like I don't have enough information to make a fair judgment yet. Quite frankly. Ooh, there's a stage called Mother's Canyon. Select a bonus box. Okay, I don't think this is directly related, but I've heard and seen a lot of good things about, like, the customization options in this game. Apparently you can do quite a bit to customize your vehicle, both in terms of the way it looks and like, the way it plays and handles. So, just for the sake of being somebody besides Sonic this time, we're going to be Big the Cat. I'm really glad he's here. Loadout? I prefer the Force of Nature on Big. I thought I could take a shortcut by jumping off of the rock. Also, I just noticed that my team is Shadow, Rouge, and Big the Cat. Sonic Adventure 2 would have been better that way. Whoa! Okay, in the entire last Grand Prix I played, I didn't get that. I wonder if certain characters, or maybe certain types of characters, have, like, exclusive items?
Watch out. They've got ultimate power going.
Oh, and Big has a remix of his theme song. Didn't do quite as well that time, but I was Big the Cat. Yeah, so stuff like that, stuff where, like, Big has a remix of his theme song when he uses the Team Ultimate. Like, one of the coolest things about Transformed, the previous game, was just how incredibly reverent and basically how cool it was to see all these incredibly obscure Sega properties actually getting, like, so much attention and so much detail and, you know... While this doesn't have that for Sega as a whole, I guess by including all these characters that haven't been playable in a very long time in some cases, it still sort of has that... It's still sort of giving me those same kind of vibes. Mother's Canyon. Oh, like the mother of the Wisps? Whoa! Yep, the mother of the Wisps. Oh, man. So it seems like the way that... Uh-oh. It seems like the way that, that slingshot effect works, I mean, is like it sounds. It's like a slingshot. Like, the longer you stay in it and follow the trail, the more of a boost you get when you come out of it. Feels real good. Oh, I couldn't fall down there. This might not be obvious watching, but Big's turning radius is terrible. Like, man, it's really, really difficult to, like... Basically, the only way that he can comfortably turn is by drifting. So it's really hard to make little minute adjustments.
Why am I going faster again?
You can't touch me way back here.
But I did notice, so there does seem to be a restriction on teams. In that every team has to be made up of a speed character, a power character, and a technique character. Which is Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails, respectively. It's all based on them. So maybe I'll do one more Grand Prix after this and do a, play as a technique character. I think that'd be appropriate. I guess the fact that I want to sit here and play through like 3 of the Grand Prix in a row definitely at least lets you know I'm enjoying myself. I still don't know right now... Oh boy, those things again. Still don't know right now what actually causes... What actually determines whether or not my teammates can slingshot. Do they have to be like within a certain... Maybe they have to be in like one place behind me in order to do it. That makes sense. I wonder if there's any like... benefit to holding your ultimate.
I'll put you over the top.
First place! Best of the best!
Guess I could have not held that one for as long.
Well,
So it looks to me like, unfortunately, some tracks are going to repeat like themes or elements. Because I believe this is using... I think the song is different, but I think the visual style is exactly like the Casino Park track from the previous Grand Prix. It's not a deal breaker, but it is a little disappointing. And I also saw multiple stages that were called Sky Road in the Grand Prix, but... Don't know what the deal there is, haven't gotten there yet.
can't wait to return the favor.
Okay, I don't like Rouge's voice at all.
Mind if I steal a slingshot?
Like, the fact that characters say, mind if I steal a slingshot, kind of makes me wonder, is there something I'm supposed to do to enable that? Or do they just say that?
Get ready. I'm gonna boost up your slipstream.
I guess not, because the way Shadow worded it there made it sound like it was just automatic. So I probably should have noticed this before, but... Looks like on the interface you can actually see, like, what position your teammates are in as well. Which makes sense, like you can see that Rouge needs some help right now, so... I'll offer up the item box. I don't know if she's the one who got it or not, but whatever. So, is it implying that when I do an item box transfer, am I getting something too? Okay, these rocks, which I thought were like something about the sand track, the Sandopolis track back a minute ago, I thought that was something that was changing about the track, but now I'm thinking it's just some sort of an enemy hazard.
They must have cheated.
This is a bad time to start doing poorly, by the way. Oh, I didn't even recognize that I had that. That Y button prompt down there at the bottom of the screen is awfully tiny.
Boy!
It all worked out. Jeez, Rouge, get it together! Aha, technique type racers can drive across any surface without experiencing slowdown. Okay, so... That tells me that the 3 character types are about more than just the way that characters handle, anyway.
Let's get hold steady and I'll slingshot around.
Okay, so maybe there's a reason it showed me that tip about technique characters at the beginning. I keep noticing instances where I, like, drive over this lava surface and lose a bunch of speed. Maybe that's something like a course element that's only meant to be, like, accessible or be valid for those technique type characters. This is fun, but I definitely don't care for the way big the cat handles. Surprise, surprise, I guess. Although if I want to dedicate myself to this and make Big the Cat my main, I do know that I can at least adjust him. I can customize this wonderful froggy cart that he drives. Ha! Saved it. Oh wait, that was only lap 2. Oh, that didn't help. The heck? Did I get into Rouge's slipstream and then therefore I was able to go as fast as her? Probably should have read the instruction manual. Unfortunately, I bought the Steam versioning, even if I hadn't. Games don't have instruction manuals anymore. Hey, you can't hurt yourself with your own rockets. That's something. Jeez, Rouge, carry your weight! And this time said I was going to play as a technique character. Let's play as a Chow. That's a weird thing to do. This game would have been better if it had a Chow garden. You need to bring back the Chow garden. Seriously, if you're going to bring back the Chow garden, tying it to a smartphone app, oh man, that'd be so cool. Well, I approve of this! Okay, I think I need to be hitting it, like, as the numbers appear, and not just before they do, like it wasn't transformed. I think that's what's screwing me up. Also, I have never liked this song so much. Like, I'm someone who, quite controversially, it seems at this point, doesn't have a lot of love for Sonic Unleashed soundtrack. I don't hate it, but most of its music didn't really, like, do a whole lot for me. But the way that this, like, the instrumentation is being done here, ooh, and this is neat. Yeah, this just really does it for me. I don't really know. One problem I'm having, and I know it's just because I'm, like, literally the first time I've played these courses, but, like, I keep taking damage and not quite understanding why or what I was hit by or what I could have done to avoid it, if anything. Oh, man, I love the volcano in the background there. You know, it's times like this when you can really tell, like, this game is freaking gorgeous. Like I said, aesthetically, visually, auditorily. Regardless of what the gameplay is like, they're definitely firing on all cylinders there. Like, this is a quality product, I think. But it's times like this when you can really tell, like, just how long ago 2008 was, and how far, like, graphics technology has come since then. Because, like, I know what Holoska. I know what that stage from Sonic Unleashed looks like, and I love it, but, man. And I just oh yeah, that's a hazard. I just noticed that the Chow Racer also includes Omo Chow, and now it's ruined again. Get the mod team on that. Get rid of Omo Chow. And replace every character in the game with classic Sonic while you're at it. Doctor's Mine. Loving these stage names. Okay, I'm gonna do it this time. I'm gonna get the boost. I did better. I didn't get the full thing. Okay, that's not Omega. I heard that a second ago and I was like, wait, what? That doesn't sound like Omega at all. That's a retcon. Or heck, he's a robot. He could have decided to do that. He could have been programmed to do that. Ooh. I don't understand how to be good with bomb. Jeez. Also... Okay, yep. Probably should have noticed this sooner, but the Chow are just... talking with human words. Maybe that's why Omocho's there. Maybe he's relaying what they're saying. Gotta make it make sense within the lore. Even though we've changed Omega into just, like, a much more generic-sounding robot. Actually, he kind of sounds like a Cyberman now. Cow Kindergarten! Oh, hell yeah! Aha. So, those... you haven't... That's what's kept confusing me, is that, like, I keep trying to get into, like, burning trails, thinking it's my team's slingshot trails. Basically, I'm horrible at paying attention and noticing shit like that. Yeah, you definitely have a much better degree of control with the technique character. Though not nearly as much speed. Bingo party. Okay, you know, even though this is the third casino stage that I've seen, it does appear to at least have some unique, like, each one seems to have some unique visual elements. I mean, that all looks very familiar, but like that big tower from the beginning. I'm gonna get that eventually, I promise.
Feel my wrath.
I always said that the Bingo Highway theme needed more butt rock. I'm glad we're here.
That team ultimate thing.
Maximum power!
This music just doesn't tonally fit what's happening on screen right now. It's wonderful.
I'm hooked.
I told you! I told you I'd do it. Oh, I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna really enjoy this track, I can already tell. I didn't hit a wall, I fell on top of Amy. Okay, so as you can see, I've now been playing for about an hour, and I've come in first in each of the first 3 of 5 Grand Prix. Literally have not touched anything else. I understand, yeah, mod pods, that's like... It's not a loot box, because you can't buy them, but by playing you get Sonic R tokens. That's not what they're called. And you can use those. Okay, neat. That's how it works. Also, it's playing a remix of the Resort Island theme from Sonic R right now. And that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. It brings a tear to my eye. So it looks like for every 10 R tokens you have, you can unlock a mod pod? Those are probably single use, maybe, I don't know. Jewel thrusters. So this is how you customize your stuff. Though there doesn't seem to be any way. Legendary arrow fins. Ooh, they're all golden. Doesn't seem to be, it just seems to be random. Although I'm getting a lot of big related things. Maybe because I played as him. I mean, these have no other point. I might as well turn them all in, I guess. Robotnik motor? Robotnik? Who's Robotnik? Nobody calls him that anymore. Hopefully this was an enjoyable format to kind of get out my first impressions in a in a less committed setting than just doing a whole like hour-long episode on it, because that would take a lot longer. I hope you enjoyed this. If you didn't, I'm sorry, but I'm kind of rusty when it comes to just providing gameplay commentary like this. I'll get better at it, I promise. But until then, and until next time, keep geekin'. I'll keep a critiquin'. Thanks for watching.